Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving straight into the historical origins and profound insights of Psalm 34. We're looking for real, actionable solutions to a problem literally every single human being faces: fear.
So it really makes you wonder, right? Can you actually be delivered from all of your fears? Whether we're talking about modern anxieties like financial ruin or just that primal fear of the dark, this is a struggle humanity has dealt with since day one. I mean, literally, right there in Genesis, the very first time fear enters the human experience is when Adam hides and tells God, "I was afraid." It's just baked into the human condition.
But what kind of fear are we exactly talking about here? Well, looking at the original Hebrew text we're studying today, it doesn't just refer to your mild everyday anxiety. No, the word actually translates to terror, dread, or just paralyzing panic. We're talking about the kind of fear that completely overwhelms the human heart, the kind that makes you feel like your future or your safety is entirely gone.
To understand the biblical solution to this kind of absolute panic, we actually have to look at the author, King David, and his incredibly rapid historical descent. Just months ago, he was a celebrated victorious warrior, then a hunted fugitive. Just days ago, he narrowly escaped death in the enemy city of Gath by literally faking madness. Yeah, scribbling on gates, acting completely insane just to survive. And today, right now, he's hiding out in the dark, damp cave of Adullam, surrounded by a ragtag group of desperate, indebted, and angry men. He is, without a doubt, at the absolute lowest point of his life.
And yet, somehow, out of that total darkness, David writes this: "I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears." It's actually incredible to think about. This soaring, triumphant song of praise was composed right there in the humiliating darkness of a cave. Notice he doesn't credit his own cleverness or his acting skills for escaping his enemies. He completely credits a divine rescue.
This completely redefines our whole concept of rescue. We usually assume deliverance means the immediate removal of whatever external danger is threatening us. But think about it. David was still in a cave. He was still actively being hunted. The reality of true deliverance is actually finding a divine, internal sense of calm right in the middle of the ongoing danger. It's experiencing peace even when the threat is literally right outside the cave entrance.
And this concept of internal peace, it's absolutely crucial to the broader biblical narrative. 19. That's the number of times the command to fear not or be not afraid appears on the lips of Christ in the New Testament. Over and over again, the message is clear. Whenever phobias beset us or fears drag us down, deliverance is actually available.
Okay, so how did David actually teach this profound truth to the rough, desperate men hiding in the cave with him? Well, he got creative. He structured this song as an acrostic poem. In the original Hebrew, each verse begins with a successive letter of the alphabet. It was a really clever memory device, ensuring that these distressed, unrefined men could easily memorize it and carry it with them, whether they were heading into battle or just running back into hiding.
Through this song, David taught his followers that living without human fear requires living in the fear of the Lord. But, and this is key, he wasn't talking about abstract, mystical religious feelings. He demanded concrete actions. Step 1, keep your tongue from evil and deceit. Step 2, depart from evil and do good. Step 3, seek peace and actively pursue it. True reverence for the divine is rooted in active obedience and the practical choices you make every single day.
Then David issues this amazing invitation: "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good." By leaning into the sensory language, he reveals something really fascinating about faith. It isn't just some intellectual knowledge you read about in a book. It's like tasting honey or feeling the heat of a fire. It's a spiritual sense that must be personally experienced to be understood. You literally have to try it for yourself to see the goodness he's talking about.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate provision of that faith. On one hand, you have young lions, which are basically the ultimate metaphor for strong, aggressive, self-reliant forces. And the text says even they often lack and suffer hunger. But on the other hand, you have those who seek the Lord, who are promised they won't lack any good thing. It's a powerful, vivid reminder that human self-reliance has its limits, but divine provision, it doesn't.
Now, for the men in that cave, guys who were heavily in debt, deeply distressed, and completely discontented, this next promise must have been an absolute lifeline. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted. It's such a beautiful, counterintuitive promise. Human nature always tells us that the strong and the successful are the ones who are favored. But the text reassures us that the Creator actually draws near to those with crushed spirits, the humble, the people who feel like they've completely dropped out of the main current of life.
But, David doesn't sugarcoat reality here.
He totally validates the lived experience of suffering, acknowledging that even righteous people are going to face many afflictions and troubles. Hard times are just inevitable. But he immediately couples this harsh reality with the ultimate promise of divine rescue. He says the Lord promises to deliver them out of them all, closely guarding their bones and ensuring that none of those who trust in him will be condemned.
Actually, speaking of that physical guardianship, there is a fascinating historical and prophetic layer to this text. David originally wrote, "Not one of his bones shall be broken," likely observing his own survival through countless brutal battles. But centuries later, the Gospel of John identified this exact ancient promise as a direct prophecy, when that was fulfilled during the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, when the Roman soldiers surprisingly chose not to break his legs. It's just an incredible thread connecting a dark cave in the Old Testament all the way to the cross in the New Testament.
And the reach of this ancient Hebrew song? It certainly doesn't stop there. Take the verse, "This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him." In our research, we found that modern Tamil prayer groups in India still utilize this exact verse today in their worship. Think about that. Believers across completely different cultures, separated by millennia, are still praying these exact words to find strength. It just goes to show the incredible global resonance of a man crying out for help in a time of deep distress.
So, what does this all mean for us? Well, deliverance ultimately comes down to trusting the guardian in the dark. The text tells us that the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him. Overcoming that paralyzing, gripping fear requires casting our anxieties onto a present, even if invisible, guardian. It's about realizing that you aren't alone in the cave. And honestly, that realization alone can transform your absolute darkest moments into a profound place of praise.
So, the crucial point we need to take away is this. We all have our caves. We all face our own intense moments of dread. But as we wrap up the explainer today, I want you to consider this. If the terrifying, humiliating darkness of the cave of Adullam couldn't silence David's praise, what modern fears can you let go of today?